Well, we come today really because it's supposed to be a war on terrorism, and there's no sort of emphasis on sorting out the problems behind why terrorism has occurred. So this is going to do nothing. Yeah, and the human heart is such that unless you put in strategies to actually change the poverty and the structures in the Western developing world and sort out Palestine's situation, you're just going to perpetuate a generation of hatred. And this all comes back to poverty and sort of ecological issues. Well, the journalists sit on sort of absolute truth and say, oh, well, so-and-so's not speaking, but then they take themselves beyond morality. So I think in a sense, you've just got to go with your gut conscience, really, haven't you?
Tony Blair came to Sheffield, where I live and work, 2 days ago, and refused to answer any questions whatsoever from the people of Sheffield. I put it to Tony Blair. I asked him whether he thought Rupert Murdoch was a conspiracy theorist. He didn't have an answer. I asked him whether there was anything that he wouldn't go along with George Bush in doing, and he didn't have an answer. I even asked him if he enjoyed his trip to Sheffield, and he didn't have an answer for that. Tony Blair is locked into a world where anything he doesn't want to see, anything he doesn't want to hear, doesn't exist. The secret of selling anything is to sell yourself on it first, and I think Tony Blair has sold himself so completely on his moral righteousness that he is incapable of conceiving the possibility that he might be wrong. I think he genuinely believes that he has a moral purpose for going into Iraq. He's talked himself into that. He's surrounded himself by people who have created a logic which within itself works, and which they won't look at anything that doesn't fit with their logic. They're not. If you say, if you try and show them the pictures that were in The Guardian in G2 yesterday, they get angry at you for pointing out. They say, of course war is bad, of course war kills people. Do you think we don't know that? But there's no way to get through to them that what they're doing isn't kind of some moral crusade for the benefit of humanity, that George Bush isn't the saviour of the universe. Well, what is New Order? It's the idea that there's one model for the world, that either you model yourself on America and you're right, or you don't and you're wrong, and you're probably a terrorist, or you're a friend of a terrorist, or you're harbouring a terrorist, or you're a supporter of a terrorist. You're either with us or against us. It's this idea that there is only one right way.
How democratic is that?
You tell me. How democratic is that?